if you're thinking about doing a brand guideline or not for a client project, I recommend doing it because your client can't be trusted to make sure the brand stays consistent and make sure that they're using the logo files correctly, the images, the patterns, the colors. All those things actually matter when it comes to like keeping a brand consistent over a long period of time and making sure they're not going to screw it up, because I've seen clients use the wrong logo or put the wrong one on social media and then you can't see it because it's like so small. And so I want to share some of the real client examples that I've done recently. Now, before I jump into that, a good website is brandguidelines.net. Now, this website is really great to get some ideas on some of the big famous brands that actually use their brand guidelines. We can click on Duolingo and it'll actually take me to their live working brand guideline. So I can click on the identity section. It's beautifully laid out as well. I love how they did this website, really cool. And it's got the navigation on the left, so I can click and it'll take me there. But if we go through this guideline, it'll go me through like the logo, the clear space, which is the space around the logo. You've got minimum sizes, the positioning on how the logo should be on, say a social media image, Instagram, or maybe it's for a poster. Where do you put it? So you got that rotation, the don'ts of the logo. So, don't stretch it, all that type of stuff. The different versions, the main lockup, the secondary lockup, the icon, the avatars. There's so many cool parts of it. You've got colors as well. This is one of the better brand guidelines I've seen around. It's really extensive, breaking down the text as well, the fonts, etc. So I recommend checking out this. This is just a great way to show your guidelines off. They even got like how the illustration should look like, the marketing, the different personalities of the characters and stuff. So the main things that you want to put in a brand guideline is actually number one, the brand. So what I do, I extract some of the stuff from my brand strategy phase with the client. So the tone of voice, taglines and slogans that we can use for marketing, the brand values, the ideal customer. These things are important to remind the client when they're doing sales or they're doing a pitch. They want to make sure that they're saying the right things and communicating properly based on how the brand vibe is. And so having that the core brand personality and essence is what I like to put into the guidelines. The next main thing I love putting is the logo. So when it comes to the logo, I put like the primary, the secondary, any logo variations. I put like the logo icon, how the logo should look on social media as well. All the parts that make up the core logo, you want to actually have it in there. Now I'll show you a few examples of what I do for like a small business, some real clients that I've worked with and how I would lay it out and stuff like that. But after the logo, I usually put the brand colors as well. So the brand colors will be the next thing. So this was one I did. I'm just in Adobe Illustrator. I typically do my designs in here instead of like InDesign or Figma. You can use those to do this type of work as well, but it's really up to you. So here's one for a small brand for a real estate company. So usually I like do a nice cover, use the brand imagery, use the patterns, the colors, make the guideline feel like it's inside the brand ecosystem. And then I usually put like a date when it was last updated as well. And then so we go through like this is our brand, got like the tone of voice here, got some nice imagery, the taglines, some brand keywords they can use as well on the website, which is cool. And I like to have an annotation just describing what the purpose of a tagline, how to use it, what not to do with it. And it's the same for all the annotations or the little notes on all the slides explaining about that specific brand asset. We've got the values here, which is cool. And then we go through the logo. So it's just showing off the logo variations. You got the word mark, the tagline, the icon, this badge stamp one, and the stacked version, which is cool. You got the clear space. Usually I always do like 25 to 30 pixels typically, and I use Logo Package Express to do that automatically. It's a really great tool to export your logos. I'll put a link below if you want to check that out. And then I have like, don't do this to the logo, just keeping it really simple. And then we've got like the brand colors. So here's one way of showing it like this. So you want to put the RGB, CMYK, and the hex code so a designer can come in and just like copy and paste. And then if you want to have Pantones, maybe you have a Pantone book, you can put the Pantones in here, or if you don't, you can just tell them to reach out to a printer, which is cool. You've also got color combinations, so showing like what colors can work well together and what shouldn't. So I just show the main colors like gold on green or gold on black will work. And you want to make sure everything's like legible and accessibility. You got to think of those things. So like make sure it's easy to read. You can also use something like the contrast checker. So I can go inside my guidelines here. I can paste this in here like that, and then you can see it will tell you if you pass or not. So this one, the green passes on the gold, but it fails, as you can see, on the AAA. I actually want to reverse this because it's meant to be on the other side, and you can see it passes on large, normal, but if it's like a really, really small, it won't be that readable. So this is a great way to check if your colors actually will work. So, and then we've got type settings, so the fonts and typography here. As you can see, I put a bit of the tagline, and we've got like, H1 to H6 and body copy, and then I put links to the fonts there which go to Dropbox. You can also show like how the fonts can be used, stuff like this. The font, you can lay it out like this. Just, you can be playful with it, have a bit of fun. And then we go into graphics and photos. So after you've gone through the logo colors, you want to show the font system, on the font, and how it can be used. Then what you want to do is go to graphics and photos or stock imagery. So then I break down each brand asset. So we've got like the pattern, the logo. We've got photography, how it should look like. And I explain it should be like sharp, saturated, a bit more bright. And the images should have rounded corners when you show it on the website. You got the icons that are custom made, built. 3 points on the stroke, and also there's a gradient, so it'll tell them to use the gradient color. I got the business card here as well, which is super cool. And then you've got like welcome guides and brochures. This is how the cover should look like. Because the client actually didn't have this built out, I don't have the other pages on how it should be laid out, so I just did the covers. And then social media, like on Facebook. So I only show what in the guidelines that the brand is using. And over time, a brand guideline can evolve. It's not static. So literally, we can add new pages if they decide to use Instagram or other platforms, or they decide to print off a flyer. Then I'll have to add that in the guidelines and explain, like, or how it should be laid out. So showing how the banner should look like and the icon there. So this is how I typically do like a brand guidelines. The recent one I did, scalable brand guidelines. So this one, you got our brand, tone of voice, taglines, and slogans there. So they can use all this. You've got the values, mission, vision, positioning statement, the ideal customer as well. So I'll put a bit more of the strategy stuff in there. And then we got logo. Just breaking it down very simply. I don't have to show every little detail because, as I said, it's a small team, 1 to 2 people. They don't need like extensive stuff. You got type settings. Then you got the pattern, photography, icons, business card, and strike through little effect here with the those are a few examples of real brand guidelines and how I will do it for a small business, and hopefully it gives you some ideas. Like, just keep it simple. You can do it all in Illustrator or Figma. Make a template for yourself and make sure that it's easy to edit, and just make sure that you deliver the guidelines for the brand so that it can be consistent, that the clients actually know how to use the brand. And typically what I do, I like sending a Loom video showing, hey, this is how you use the files, and then I'll break down the files and show them the guidelines and just walk them through it. So it's something that's really great. If you do not have a guideline, I actually have a 1-page guide sheet. So it's more for small brands that you just want to do a 1-pager. It's easy just to see everything at a glance. I'll put a link below. It's actually in my shop and on my website, so you can check it out. It's only like $25, but you can see this is what you get. You get these cool templates, landscape and portrait, where you can edit the fonts, the colors, and everything. I don't have my template for Illustrator one, but if you do want the template I showed you with the examples of the bigger template, then just let me know in the comments below if you want to see it, and I might drop it. I will talk to you next time.